Hello everybody, my name is Connor and we are here with some OP-10 Buggy featuring the new promo card. Real quick, I do want to say I did get this list from Buggy Master himself, Omixed, so go check out his channel. I did not cook this list up, it's his list. But before we get too deep into the video, I do want to remind you guys we are doing a giveaway for a playmat that I designed at 1K followers. 2 lucky winners will be picked. More information about that on my post. But to start off, we're going to, of course, drop the Mr. 3, going ahead and picking up Bond Clay. That Bond Clay is mostly in the deck for a 2K. I don't actually have all 4 Bond Clays, so I do have a 2 Bond Clay and 2 Bullet, Prince Bullet split. But turn 1, my opponent, Mr. Vegapunk, was able to play out Atlas, and if you don't know what Atlas is, if you have less life than your opponent, Atlas cannot be KO'd in battle. So a really annoying card for my opponent to have this early in the game, and the big swing from Atlas is going to connect, and we are not going to get a trigger off of that. But hey, we have a peel off in our hand. Our hand is looking and feeling massive, and you can see there we do have one of our winner pre-release buggies. So we're gonna go ahead and swing 6. Not much else we can do this turn. Getting a life, and of course there is a trigger. Vegapunk, if you aren't getting triggers, you're not playing Vegapunk right. That is a Lilith searcher, so Lilith is going to search for a Egghead card, picking up the Shaka. Shaka can definitely be a really tough card to get around, but yeah, so I'm not thrilled about seeing Shaka so early, but you know, there are worse cards I think to see early. But and speaking of the Darashi, she is going to let my opponent search out 2 cards with trigger, which, as I said, if Vegapunk is all just trigger cards, so gonna end up grabbing the new Rush Zoro, and I believe that is I require help. Oh no, that is Egghead Stage. That is, I prefer that. But the new Rush Zoro is in place instead of Raigo, so my opponent did his best to update his Vegapunk list a little bit on the fly. He's gonna put the Frankie in the top of his life, getting that 2 life. Gonna go ahead, poke with a Lilith for 5, and I'm gonna go ahead and discard a Jozu. I have a couple more in the deck, but with the 6K, I don't mind taking some hits. We are gonna end up grabbing, look how massive my hand is. We are gonna get a Mihawk, which is good because we're gonna be at 6 Dawn now, which at 5 Dawn we can activate Buggy ability, and our promo Buggy, so maybe you don't know this, promo Buggy not only stops 3s and 4s from attacking, but it also plays a 6 cost or less. So we're going to go ahead, swing 6 at lead. He'll take it, getting the Frankie out. And yeah, we are going to go ahead, discard the Vanilla Croc there, and play out the promo Buggy into Mihawk. Mihawk ability going to allow us to draw 2. And promo Buggy, just, it makes this deck so much better. I feel so much better, like so much like happier on this deck already, which is great because I am a Buggy fanboy, dude. I love Buggy. He's my favorite stupid idiot. But now I thought Buggy was gonna be a fun match for to play into Vegapunk, because that Lilith, that Frankie, they can't attack now. Buggy stops them from attacking, and while it is a bit unfortunate that Buggy himself cannot attack, neither can they. So the I require help going into Vegapunk's life, getting him back up to 2, and with the remainder of his Dawn, he has an option. He has 1 attacking body, but he does forget about promo Buggy playing out Zoro, and I do remind him, I mean, that's a great Zoro, but you can't swing it, and he's like, oh, damn it. And you know, learning cards, this is just a casual game between friends. Shout out to my buddy K-Dubs. I usually link his channel. He does some pack openings, but check him out. I'm bullying him into getting back into posting some videos. So Atlas is the only character that can attack, and it's a little interesting because Mihawk is a 7k blocker, and I feel like that is a really big blocker. I think having one Mihawk is definitely a pretty decent. But so he is just gonna go ahead and pass turn, not really wanting to give me a free block, really. So we are going to be at our 8 Dawn turn now, trying to figure out what I want to do. Thankfully, that buggy really stopped my opponent from having a very aggressive board, and it's almost a board that I can kind of forget about. So I am going to focus on filling up my board and ideally playing a buggy out whenever I get a buggy. So I am going to tap 5 to activate buggy ability to play out the crocodile. Crocodile is going to play out my one shiny Das Bones. I'm going to draw 2 and discard 1. And it does look like I forgot to discard 1 for Crocodile. Or excuse me, for buggy ability. So discarding the peel off there, and I think I have, yeah, I would probably discard Red Rock. I think I may do that later. I feel like I do discard Red Rock at some point. But I'm going to go ahead and swing 7, ideally at life. Actually, that's the only place I can swing. So 7 at life, going to see if I can force him to take back. Yep, he does end up taking back the I require help to hand. And I am just going to pass. Not really much else I can do, but my board is getting set up for sure. And my opponent has a decent sized hand, but as you guys can see, I have pudding, I have some resources I think I can use there. The Darashi coming out, gonna let him search yet again for a 2 cards with trigger. Let's see what he goes ahead and grabs. Grabs the Rocket Luffy, as well as a, I believe that is a Nami? Is that Nami? I can't tell. The glare was very bad and my screen was kind of small there, but grabbing 2 cards with trigger, that is the requirement for Darashi. And yep, so the Nami is gonna come down, gonna be only able to pop my Das Bones, trashing the Shaka, which is understandable. I do know he has the I require help. He has not used that. It's definitely something he can put in his life, and I think most Vegapunks are going to want to put it in their life to reoccur the Shaka blocker. So yep, there is the I require help. 6 coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and take it, and there is Prince Bullet, our Mr. 2 replacement. And with Egghead stage, he is able to restand Atlas, which kind of stinks, but we're at 10 Dawn. We have a relatively full board. We are missing 1 character that meets the requirement in order to play the buggy we have in our hand. And I think buggy is a good way to get rid of the Atlas, so we're going to go ahead and tap 5, placing down Kabaji. No on-play effect. I don't have a buggy on board currently, which I always forget that he has an ability that triggers with buggy. I'm going to go ahead and discard Red Rock to play out our 10 cost buggy, bottom decking the Atlas. So I think when I forgot to discard last turn, I did have plenty of cards that I could have discarded. I don't think at this point, I don't think they ultimately matter. But we are going to go ahead, swing 7, and get the trigger the Shaka. Thinking about swinging 5, and we decide just to pass, get that 7 poke in. That is fine. And yeah, I'm definitely thinking about dropping the pudding next turn. I mean, from what I can see, my opponent's hand is pretty massive. Ends up replacing Lilith with Yamato. Unable to pop anything on our board, thankfully, but healing to 2, and then with tapping 1 more, they are gonna go ahead and put Bonnie up top, heal to 3, and pass turn. They're gonna swing Nami before they pass turn, and with the Nami swing, I just go ahead and block with Mihawk, because I know that's the only thing really they can swing this turn, unless they want to swing Shaka, and they do, and that is an easy 2k out. So gonna go ahead at the end of his turn, restand that Shaka. and leave us looking pretty good for the most part. Just kind of got to figure out how exactly I want to do this. They are back up to 3 life, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're going to try and get some cards out of hand before we play the pudding. We're going to go ahead, the Bonnie is going to draw them 2 cards, letting them think they're safe here. We're going to go ahead, swing 7 with Kabaji, and I think 8 with what is his name? Crocodile, I almost forgot. But it does look like he gets a trigger. Gonna go ahead and play Nami to pop Kabaji, which kind of upsetting, but I was gonna replace Kabaji. So with that, I think I will just go ahead and swing. I swing this 7. Not sure how I feel about that. Just the 7 to try and get the Shaka blocker potentially out of the way. We can swing with our buggy this turn, our character buggy. So yeah, he's just checking what can swing. I can swing Mihawk, I can swing buggy, and he is going to end up taking his last life, excuse me. And with that, I am going to tap 4 to play Pudding, forcing him to reshuffle his hand into his deck, and leaving me with 2 cards up. So I think that this ultimately a pretty good sign here, being able to have him take all of his life and then reshuffle it. I believe the I require, but all of those cards he just got out of his life and off of triggers are now back in his deck, and he has 5 cards in total to work with. We have 1 blocker and 2 life, so we are feeling really good. Gonna go ahead and actually swing the 14k with Buggy. Gonna go ahead and get the Shaka out of that and pass turn. Did we need to swing 14k? No. A little bit of poor Dawn management, excuse me, but I think that my plan pivoted partially through my thought. I thought that playing Pudding and surviving another turn was a better option for me, and I still think at this point of the game it is. So it looks like an 8k swing coming in from Nami. Yep, gonna go ahead and take it. Get another 7 cost buggy. Not exactly what I want to see, but with the 9k swing, I don't really feel like blocking with Mihawk. I'm trying to think what else can he have. So I do end up playing 2Ks and a 1k. He heals with Shaka, tapping the remainder of his life to play, or excuse me, the remainder of his Dawn to play 7-drop Ace, and swinging the, I believe that's 9 at me, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that because I kind of know that we are in a situation where I'm gonna take the game here. And now that we see that I got the Shaka off of the top, or excuse me, the Jozu off of the top, depending on how well I math with his smaller hand size, depending on how well I do the math, I can play Jozu out and bounce Shaka to hand, which is basically what I'm going to do at this point. I have 4 Dawn to play with, so that's at least 1 7k swing, and we are going to swing at 7 with Croc, trying to get some cards out of hand, and we get the Edison as well as the Jewelry Bonnie out of hand, so that's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm going to swing another 7, knowing that there's a slim chance I feel like he can counter that. And he is going to take and place out, replacing the Rush Zoro with Shaka. I am then going to tap my last 6, taking over the Crocodile spot, bouncing, putting back to my hand, as well as bouncing the Shaka to his hand. So he's going to go ahead and give us 2k there, and that is going to be game. So overall, I feel like just being able to stop a couple bodies on these decks that flood out bodies so fast, just being able to stop a couple bodies from swinging is so good. But yeah, I think the buggy deck is in a really good spot, and I'm hoping with the bands, buggy will see a little more play. I will probably be playing more Buggy this set. I really enjoy Buggy. I think he's very fun. And as I said, he is my favorite one of my favorite One Piece characters, second to Crocodile, I think. I think Crocodile is actually my first. Fun fact. But yeah, I love Buggy. Really excited to be playing this deck. So that is going to go ahead and do it for me, guys. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.